Yay! Today we are on our way to Sandbanks, where we're going to catch a ferry to a beautiful location called Studland Bay, which is a stunning, beautiful coastline of beach and natural reserve as well, with heathlands, sand dunes, yeah. And we're going to make our way towards Old Harry Rocks, which I'm really looking forward to showing you guys. So yeah, let's make our way onto the ferry. Let's go. Yeah, this is exactly what I needed today, just to be here and especially this feeling of taking your shoes off and getting some much needed grounding sometimes. You know, we need to just to feel our feet on the earth, and certainly be on the beach or perhaps in a park with some grass, etc. Definitely helps us to ground and feel more connected. And the sand here is, when you compare it to the other side of Bournemouth, it's just far cleaner. You can see, yeah, it's just looser, drier, and yeah. So where the ferry brought us in, didn't have so much seaweed. Just as we're approaching this side, there seems to be a bit more seaweed, but I like it. It has a nice smell, you know. That beach smell we all like. And then up there we've got of course the sand dunes.
This water is currently 14. Yeah.
So this is Studland village, I believe, that I've come to. I'm not entirely sure actually. This is just random. I've just suddenly, yeah, it is, of course it is. There's a cottage there for sale, perhaps one day. Very pretty. Oh wow. You can really sit out there and have your meal. I think that's it. It's that big, is it? It's that small. Okay, let's carry on, you guys. And here we are at Old Harry Rocks. And of course, we do need to tread carefully. I was keeping at least 2 meters away from the edge at all times. And yeah, there was actually an incident a week prior to filming this. There was a 15-year-old boy on a school trip, and he fell 18 meters as he was taking a photograph. The emergency services were alerted instantly, and fortunately, the boy survived, and not only survived, just had some minor cuts and grazes. So, very good news, of course, but also a hefty reminder to be extra vigilant and careful when we're in locations like this. And where does Old Harry get his name from? Well, there is an interpretation that stems from local folklore that Old Harry is a nickname for the devil. So, yeah, which you can appreciate in the fact that if you look at Harry itself, it's kind of, you know, a little bit rugged and spiky. So, just managed to find a little spot here. Just have a little rest. I'm on this bench, but it's kind of it's lost its front. I don't know what you would call that. Its front. One of its planks. Let's call it a plank. It's front plank. That's what it's lost. But you can still sit on it at least, so I can have a little bit of a rest. But yeah, Old Harry, stunning place. Thoroughly enjoyed that. But yeah, this coming week we're going to be talking about this week about forgiveness and you know, the necessity and significance of forgiveness in our lives for overall well-being and healing, etc. And just kind of looking at the pros and cons to it. Of course, you know, we know that forgiveness is the end goal, right? But as we know, there's not, in certain situations, it's not always easy to get to that moment of genuine, heartfelt forgiveness, right? So yeah, I'm just going to share with you kind of like what's my initial thoughts before the live next week. But I'm just kind of like thinking, you know, where we get that kind of ingenuine forgiveness, which can happen from, you know, from childhood, really. At least here, you know, when we're young, you're at school and you have a squabble or fight with another child, and you could be, depending on the squabble, you could be quite angry or whatever, but you're kind of told to resolve it as quick as possible, and you might not be ready at that point as a child, but you're not able to express that, of course. But you get told to say sorry, you know, quite quickly, in fact. And if you don't say sorry, you're kind of outcasted if you don't say sorry. And so you say sorry to get back to be accepted again. And you might not be ready yet, you know what I mean? And like I say, I'm speaking in a very general way. I'm not saying everybody's like that with children. I know a lot of improvements have been made, you know, with parenting and education, etc. But of course, you know, we're still, it's a work in progress, and I think we're getting better and better. We're heading in the right direction, I do believe. But just generally, I'm speaking from my experience from my childhood. It was like that, and so let's say my generation, we are learning more about ourselves. We are, and discovering that, yeah, we might have some issues dealing with our own emotions, and we're learning about that, becoming aware of that, and through that, things like forgiveness, right? Forgiveness comes into play with that, because then we start to learn that why we can't maybe forgive so easily sometimes, and we might feel bad about that because it's deemed as a bad thing if you can't forgive, right? Because you're, or can't say sorry, or can't, and yeah, so it is truly about learning how to balance those emotions, knowing when we feel ready to generally give a heartfelt forgiveness. Those are all ways of dealing with things, and being okay. This is kind of this acceptance of being okay with still feeling angry with someone, or that's okay, but at the same time we're working towards not having those emotions override us and affect us. And then this is always the end goal for all of us, right? And I think the more we work on ourselves, actually, the less things affect us. Really, it's true. It really is. The more, moment by moment, year by year, you start to really, yeah, you don't sweat the small stuff anymore. You just, it really is pleasurable. But yeah, like I say, the end result is always to get to a moment of forgiveness. But like I say, I'm gonna go in a little bit more detail and examples this week on Instagram. But yeah, please share with me your thoughts around the topic of forgiveness, and how well you deal with it. And yeah, would love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's get towards, I think we're going to go and have a little rest in the cafe, and then I'm going to head towards the ferry. Okay, catch you guys in a bit. So yeah, so since we've left Old Harry and yeah, the Studland village and everything, so I did have a rest in a cafe just between, because actually it was longer than I thought to get back to here. And now we're just making our way through, if you remember at the beginning of the video, we went along the beach. So I'm just slightly inland, which is going through the heathland here, and there's just sand dunes everywhere. So let me just flip the camera. So this is kind of the pathway. So you're constantly walking on sand, which can be a little bit, tricky in some parts, and actually can be a bit tougher, as you can imagine. So I've got probably, I would guess, I don't know, maybe minutes, or probably more actually, of this. I think between here and the ferry there is a part where it's got like a wooded, what do you call it, wooded decking area. So it does get, it's not all sand all the way, which would be pretty hellish, right? So yeah, anyway, so I think we're gonna, I think on the way we should pass a lagoon, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. If not, we will check back in as we approach the ferry. Okay, catch you guys in a bit. When you come out here, it's you can really appreciate nature here much more than the beach area, where there are more people, of course. It's so pretty. And to be honest with you, there's another pathway going this way, and I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to carry on this way, and the reason why is because I know that the road is this direction, so I'm kind of trying to stay with the road rather than the beach, simply because just in case I might be able to see the bus, then that's what I will grab. And I think, you guys, I think we're coming to the lagoon, which will be amazing. So looking forward to sharing that one. Oh wow! So yeah, this is the lagoon, which, oh, this is spectacular. Just, oh, peaceful. Oh my goodness, that was quite I had no idea where I was going, guys. That last bit, that was quite tricky. I wish I'd actually got that on camera actually, but finally I've made it to this, which is the like I mentioned before, the boarding, the decking, sorry, of the pathway. So yeah, it should be slightly easier. And then this is just like a swampy kind of area either side. And I'm quite further away from the beach than I thought. I thought I was closer, but I'm not. I'm actually, I think I'm getting closer towards the road actually, which was the plan all along. Actually, I was wrong. I thought it was going to be decking all the way, but it's not. But the sand has actually gone, so this is a bit easier to navigate now. But yeah, you can see the richness of plant life here. Okay, see, this is what I mean. I think I'm going to head straight on. I think that's not going anywhere particularly that direction, so I'm going to carry on straight. Now it's getting sandy again. So one would imagine I can't be far away from the beach again, I guess. It's been such a long time since I was in this area. Doesn't even look familiar to me. Oh, this is wild. This bit's a bit wild, I think. Yeah, we're quite close. I just saw human just in the distance, so I think we cannot be far away from the beach. Yeah, which would be that direction to the right, I'm guessing. But to the left will be the roadway, which is really what I'm trying to do, I think. So I'm going to head this direction, see where we go, guys. So yeah, guys, wow, that was pretty tough. Tough going today. Yeah, sorry I didn't get footage of the last part of that journey because in all honesty I was absolutely knackered, because in the end, that last part where I cut off the camera, you know, where I was going bearing left, that was still a lot of sand on the pathway, and altogether I checked my app, my steps app, and it was around 5,000 steps I did just in that little that part from that cafe all the way towards the ferry. was 5,000, and it got to be a bit of a struggle. So so yeah, I just wanted to get on the bus. So you've kind of missed that kind of a drum, let's say. It's not really a big drum, but it was tough. It was like I say, I was expecting that decking board a bit more. That was my memory of a child, at least. That's how it was, how I remember. But anyway, it was, apart from that, another awesome day. And so now I'm back at my beach, which is very close to where I live, and I'm having a rest. So and unfortunately I can't watch the sun go down, because the sun goes down towards sandbanks, actually towards where the ferry is. So but I can see, which I'm going to show in the distance. So I'm going to put an arrow where Old Harry Rocks is. That was the chalk rock formation we would have seen earlier today, and that's exactly where it is in the distance. So that's where we were today, and yeah, quite far away, as you can see. Yeah, feels like a long way. Feels like a long time ago right now, but yeah, I'm going to be sleeping well tonight. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and yeah, wish you all an awesome week, and I'll see you real soon. And thank you so much for watching, and please share with anyone you feel might like it. Thank you, and be well.
So if you need time.